looming financial crisis, we're all tightening our belts right now. And the question has come up, is skincare a luxury or a necessity? Now, I would argue that such is its impact on our self-esteem that our skin health and therefore our skin care is something of a necessity. It's not discretionary. However, with that in mind, there are some smart things we can do to ensure that we invest in the right place and that we trim our expenses where we can. And at the end of the day, my lovely followers, I am here to help you master your own skin, because that is where true power lies, the power of transformation. We can make it simple, effective, and affordable. Now, make sure you stay right to the very end, because my last recommendation is going to be one you really like. So firstly, I would recommend that you don't waste your money on redundant categories. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, for instance, your neck, a lovely thing to be preserved and looked after at all costs, but care for your neck does not have to be any different than care for your face. Likewise, categories that simply don't work. Sorry to say, but cellulite creams, not getting rid of your cellulite anytime soon. And P.S., it's perfectly normal to have cellulite, especially if you're a woman. So know products, know what's in them. There really is no substitute for getting an education, immersing yourself in the now very readily available language of skincare ingredients. Understand what works, what doesn't. At the end of the day, what really works, it's a fairly small number of things to become familiar with. And know when you're getting sucked in by marketing hype and wasting your money accordingly. The next thing to think about is avoid unnecessary duplication. Now, it's surprising to me how many people will have multiple serums, it's typically a serum, on the go at one time that either overlap with the same types of ingredients, or they have multiples of the same category that they use in rotation. Now, there isn't much logic to that. Again, it's about knowing what ingredients you need to target your particular concerns and reach your particular skin goals. So build a plan, write it down, do your research, and then focus single-mindedly on the right products to deliver that. And do one category of product at a time and one product with that ingredient in it at a time. As I say, duplicating by layering multiple serums with retinol, for instance, will just increase your chances of irritability. It will not improve your chances of results. So know your ingredients and avoid duplication. My next recommendation, cut costs where you can. And perhaps the best category to cut costs in is your cleansing. Now, oftentimes, the reason a cleanser is more expensive is because of the addition of multiple ingredients, those that have a story around acne prevention or targeting aging. And at the end of the day, know that there is very limited ability for any product that's in contact with your skin for such a fleeting amount of time, if you're lucky, 60 seconds, for it to have any real impact on your skin. Meanwhile, it's all going down your sink or getting wiped off with a cloth. So for me, cleansing is functional. It should do no harm, but it's functional. It's about removing what we don't want on our skin, leaving your skin set up for the action that comes from your leave-on products. And we shouldn't ask any more of a cleanser. And therefore, accordingly, we can spend relatively less on that category. And of course, the same is true for body cleansing. I'm a big fan of on-fragrance products, as many of you who watch this channel will know. And as soon as you take fragrance out of the mix, it's amazing how affordable body cleansers become, particularly if you stay within the French pharmacy brands like Avène, La Roche-Posay, or even Aveeno. Brands I like do a great job of cleansing your body without hijacking your bank balance. Now, on the topic of basics, let's talk moisturizers. So obviously, a moisturizer has a lot more contact with your skin. It's a leave-on product. However, I do think moisturizers is the category, certainly at the top category in beauty. Moisturizers generate far more revenue in beauty than even serums do. So we spend a lot of money on moisturizers, but I would argue that to find one that does the job nicely does not have to be an expensive proposition. And I really would urge you, if you are investing a lot of money in moisturizers. And let's face it, it's very easy to spend north of £100 nowadays. There are so many shiny, glossy brands, a celebrity endorsement telling us that this moisturizer is going to change our lives if only we can find the cash to invest in. Be realistic in what you expect from a moisturizer. By all means, find one with the right ingredients to balance your barrier, to replenish your skin after cleansing, and to support the use of actives which do have the potential to transform your complexion. We want one that leaves our skin with a nice base that suits well to wearing makeup and sunscreen, but there is a but. That is all your moisturizer will do for you. So be careful with your money. That's all I'm going to say. As a final note on the subject of basics and where you invest and where you don't need to invest, you can't really go wrong with a brand like CeraVe for cleansing, moisturizing. They're simple products, they're elegant, and they're well priced. I do think that their more active products are a little overpriced for what they deliver, but for an affordable foundation upon which to build a retinoid routine, if you're on a budget, I highly recommend them. Think about carefully investing in active products that multitask because they contain multiple ingredients in one formula. Now that's something that we at Dr. Sam's do. It's also something that Paula's Choice does. And I think it's a smart way of ensuring you're getting the maximum return on your investment because, as we all know, the power for transformation of our skin lies with the right actives. And it's about finding the right ones for you. So again, it's about knowing yourself, knowing your skin, and doing that essential research to find out what active will work best, in what combination, at what percentages, so that you are getting the maximum return on your investment. And I think that's something that saves you not only a bit of money, but also time, and delivers an efficient, effective result, is something that is worthwhile investing, whatever your budget might be. And then my final recommendation to you would be to look at your dosing to ensure that you're using not too little, not too much, just the right amount. I've talked about this a lot in my videos. It's absolutely key because if you don't know the dose to be consistent on a regular basis, you won't know whether you've done enough to reach your goals and if there's room to do more. So use whatever system works for you. Think about a P, think about the fingertip unit. I'm a big fan of this, where we lose the space between the last line of your finger to the end of your finger. If you imagine it as a line, a bit like you would toothpaste coming out of the tube, a fingertip unit is a good guide for the amount of active that serves a full face. Retinoids, sometimes we go a little bit less, we do half a fingertip. But if you use multiples of a half to one fingertip, you won't go far wrong. Write it down, make it an Excel spreadsheet if that helps you. Some people love to do that, then you've got a really concrete record of what you've been doing. It makes it much easier then to read your skin, to take the feedback. Am I doing too little? Am I doing too much? Finding just the right sweet spot so you get the maximum impact with the minimum amount of product. So those are some of my favorite ways to cut your skincare budget. And to be honest, they're not that different to the principles I would apply to where we should spend cash and where we should cut corners as a general rule. But right now, I hope those are useful to you and they help you rationalize a little bit where you should be spending, where you should be cutting corners, and just making sense of a difficult period, but one that I think we can still get through, still maintain great skin, but not break the bank. Let me know how you found this video, guys. If you liked it, hit subscribe and like, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.